Hey guys, it's me Seren. I'm back with another video. It is Columbus Day, and I wanted to get up a quick video about Columbus Day before the day was over. Um, I wanted to make this video earlier, but my computer died. I'm sure you can all tell, this video is kind of weird and grainy. It's because I'm on my iPad, and the camera's over here, so I'm gonna have to try to remember to look at it. But I'm on my iPad because my computer died. The charger is kaput, so I ordered a new one. Hopefully it'll be here by Wednesday, at which point I can put up some better quality videos. Hopefully this one is okay. And I guess you guys just gonna have to be real close up on my face because it looks like this is super close. But yeah, so it's Monday, Columbus Day, aka Indigenous Peoples Day, aka Happy Genocide Day, wherever you sit on the fence. And I wanted to make this video really quick about something that has been going on for the past few years, where people, instead of calling it Columbus Day, have been saying Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. 16 states out of, the 50 states of the nation have already changed their legislature so they celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Christopher Columbus Day. And there's a lot of people out there that are pushing to make this, federal legislation, to push it to a national level, because they feel like we should not be celebrating Christopher Columbus because, what did Christopher Columbus do, right? He got lost. He ended up in the wrong place. He got here. People were already living here. He claimed it in the name of another country. He called them Indians because he thought he was in India. This guy was basically kind of a jackass. And we celebrate that, and that kind of led to, the mass genocide of the indigenous peoples and, where we are today. So a lot of people, Native Americans and, not Native Americans, have been pushing to, really get rid of Columbus Day and make it Indigenous Peoples Day, where we celebrate the indigenous peoples that were already here and not Christopher Columbus. And from what I can tell from my reading, there seems to be three types of people that are kind of pushing back against this. You have, number one, your Italian Americans and your Italians who are pretty offended. Christopher Columbus was Italian, and he's something of a hero to many Italians and many Italian Americans. That is definitely something to be proud of. Feeling like one of your people discovered America, even though, as we kind of learn later in life, that's not the way the narrative went. So a lot of them feel personally offended and even attacked. Like their community, their ethnic community is coming under fire by people that want to, kind of turn Christopher Columbus into a bad guy and, kind of take that away from them. Which is understandable, but we have to face the facts. It is what it is. History is history, and it's inappropriate to continue, in my opinion, to whitewash it and to paint Christopher Columbus as a hero when really he was kind of an asshole with a map that got lost and, opened the door to the brutal colonization and murder of indigenous peoples that were already here. That's not really something to be celebrated. And if I were Italian American, I'd probably want to distance myself from that. But, that's one of the consequences of whitewashing history. You have, so many years and generations, 600 years of hearing a certain story about, an Italian hero, and it gets hard to swallow, a different version, even if that other version is the truth. So the second class of people that are kind of pushing back against this are kind of Darwinists, people that feel like, it's survival of the fittest. We won, they lost. To the victor go the spoils, and along those same lines, the victors are the ones that write the history books, So they feel like Christopher Columbus didn't really do anything wrong. He got here. He brought the rest of the Europeans over here. They had superior, weaponry. They also came with an arsenal of diseases at their disposal, which really wiped out the indigenous peoples. And, we won, they lost. Boo-hoo, who cares? And I've also seen a certain type of this kind of person comparing the slaughter of the indigenous peoples to, like, the extinction of animals, the extinction of the dinosaurs, and kind of saying like, oh, should we also celebrate, the animals that were here before us that we had to slaughter to develop civilization. If you're one of those people that compares animals and dinosaurs to the genocide, the mass genocide of indigenous peoples, you can go ahead and turn this video off right now. Because my videos are for people that reside in the land of the living, and clearly you guys have no souls whatsoever. So you can just turn it off. Just turn it off. You know, just chuckle it up, laugh it up, and turn it off. Because that's disgusting. You know, your shitty personal alarm should really go off if you find yourself saying or thinking any of those things, because it's extremely offensive, extremely disrespectful, and also low-key racist. You know, you don't compare people, the indigenous people, to animals, you know? And that's not to say that animals are not important, because the way that we are slaughtering animals, you know, and the rate at which species are going extinct is also extremely problematic. And that's really not something you want to be proud of, that we slaughter animals and that we're sending animals into extinction and, you know, onto the endangered list at such a rapid rate to, like, what, like, build factories and, you know, soccer stadiums. In Brazil, they cut down huge swaths of the Amazon rainforest to build a fucking stadium for FIFA. I was disgusted when I heard about it. You know, capitalist greed, it's ruining the planet. So you might not want to compare the slaughter of the indigenous peoples to that like it's something cool and funny and haha, jokey joke. Because you're a dick. And the third type of person, and I feel like this is, you know, more or less the type of person that we would probably all consider ourselves to be, is kind of an apologist. Someone that knows that it's wrong to continue celebrating Christopher Columbus Day, but doesn't really know how to stop, you know, kind of feels like, oh, it would be a big change, you know, people don't really like change. How will we implement it, you know, how will we make the, you know, Indigenous Peoples Day, you know, national, federal, something that we celebrate in schools, you know, how will we rewrite the narrative, how will we rewrite the history books, you know, how will we tell our children, it's kind of hard, you know, explaining to elementary school children, you know, genocides and, you know, diseases and STDs and rapes and murders and pillages, you know, it's easy to sell a story about whatever the fuck year it was, 1592, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, or whatever the fucking rhyme is. I didn't pay attention when that shit was going down because I already knew the truth that I had learned at home. But, you know, you can't really make up a cute rhyme about raping and pillaging Native Americans, right? Like, you can't whitewash it and turn it into, like, a cute little Disney bedtime story about how, you know, the brave Christopher Columbus, you know, braved the oceans and the seven seas and, you know, sailed over here in the New World. And, you know, it's great stuff, you know, for movies and for bedtime stories for kids. And the truth is just not as pretty. So you have people that don't know, they're not comfortable explaining that type of thing to their children. You know, they kind of feel like the idea of what really happened is, you know, something best left unsaid until children are ready, you know, kind of like the historical equivalent of Santa Claus, right? You tell them this bullshit ass story about Christopher Columbus, and then when they're old enough, be that, you know, middle school, high school, college, you know, college history course or whatever, they learn the truth. And the problem with that is, you know, when we go down these paths of rewriting history and whitewashing history, because that's what we're talking about, literally rewriting history, it's a slippery slope. You know, how far do you go before, you know, these real facts are lost, you know, before we really believe, you know, that what we teach kids, you know, about Christopher Columbus being a hero is true, you know? All it takes is what? For the rest of the Native Americans to die off, and then all we have is, you know, our word and the stories that we tell. So I think it's really important that this holiday, I want to quote, you guys know I love my air quotes, but I'm holding the iPad, so holiday. I think it's really important that we, you know, kind of look at the ramifications of continuing to celebrate this holiday in a broader context of what we're doing. We're literally celebrating murder, genocide, you know, we're celebrating the first use of, you know, biological warfare when they intentionally gave indigenous peoples blankets that were riddled with smallpox to kill them. That's what we're celebrating when we celebrate Christopher Columbus Day, you know? And I know it's hard because then you also have to kind of open yourself up into, well, should we be celebrating Thanksgiving? And, you know, again, how do we teach this to kids? How do we make it age appropriate? That stuff's all really hard, but, you know, we kind of have to face the hard stuff head on. And we have to remember that in this country, which always prides itself on being a melting pot of all these different, ethnicities and diversity. There are different types of people here, and the indigenous people are still here. And what an affront, and what disrespect to kind of be, espousing this, fake ass story about what happened when they know what really happened, when we all know what really happened. We just kind of pretend that it didn't, They deserve better than that. Their forefathers that were killed, their ancestors also deserve better than that. And you do have people, Republicans, you do have people that are introducing, all different types of bills in legislature right now at this moment to whitewash curriculum. There's people that want to take out slavery. They want to take out, what happened to the indigenous peoples. They want to take out poor immigration laws and stories about, people migrating here illegally. I'll post some links. I read something the other day about how they're trying to take things that are not patriotic out of the history books because they want to instill a sense of, pride in America and the up-and-coming youth. Pride in America is great, but they still need to understand, where we came from and that we have a tragic past, We can't just teach them, we wanted liberation from Great Britain and stuff like that and just leave out what we did to other people to oppress them. And it's funny how that works, right? When we're teaching the kids about the oppression of Great Britain on us, in the Boston Tea Party and, the Revolutionary War and Paul Revere and the British are coming, no one wonders that it's too violent or that it's, too disturbing or, that the material we're teaching the kids is wrong or inappropriate. No one cares. It only becomes inappropriate when we're talking about the oppressions that we as Americans have done to other people. That now it's like, whoa, 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 back up. Let's think twice about this. What about the children? To this day, I can recite the preamble of the Constitution from memory because I had a history teacher that drilled it into us with Schoolhouse Rock, And those were laws and rules that didn't even include me as a black person, right? I was seen as chattel. I was a slave. I was seen as 3/5 of a person, less than human. The Dred Scott decision, which ruled that, we African Americans, persons of African descent, were never meant to be citizens of this country and can never be citizens of this country, right? I wasn't taught that in elementary school, but I was taught the preamble to the Constitution. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare at hand, ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution, right? And I'm 26 and I still know that, even though it wasn't meant for me, So we have to really own up to our truths and the truths of this country, or what they say about history and how it repeats itself. So quick video. I'm gonna upload it using the mobile. Hopefully it works. Let me know, you guys. Let me know how it turns out. And I would love to hear comments because this seems to be something that has people really riled up. Indigenous Peoples Day versus Christopher Columbus Day, and what does that also mean for Thanksgiving and all kinds of stuff. I would love to hear your thoughts. So thanks for watching. New week, Monday. I put up another video a little bit earlier, but I might be taking it down because I was half asleep when I made that video. As you guys can tell, I have a bit more energy now, so I'll probably be making another one about Ferguson either tomorrow or the day after. So please be on the lookout for that. And welcome to the new week, October 13th. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.